I hope everybody is doing fine. So today we are starting with Bootstrap, and while in the meantime let other people will join. Let me have the screen settings as of now. So let some people join. Then we will start with today's session. So 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay. So 1 minute. Another will take another minute to start. So this is basically the official web page of Bootstrap from where we will be taking the reference. Okay, from where we will be taking the reference, and from there we will go ahead. Okay, so let us start with Bootstrap. And yeah, 1 second. What is he? Hello, sir. I am nephew of your college senior, Dr. Tejan. Are very good, yeah, very good. Glad to see you, Mr. Priyansh Jain. Very good, yeah, very good. So I hope Mr. Jain is in UK right now and he has joined Metaverse. I have just seen his post which he have posted in the FB. So that's very good, Priyansh, to see you here. Very nice, very nice. I hope you are doing also very good and uh, very nice here. So let us start with Bootstrap, and Bootstrap is actually a very good thing, a very good tool. And 1 second. Okay, sorry. So Bootstrap, what is a Bootstrap? Bootstrap is basically a front end framework. Okay, so actually this time we are going to take the reference of 1 second. Thanks, sir. Thanks. It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure, Priyansh. Okay. So Bootstrap is a front end framework. Okay, as you see here. So we will be referring the docs. So Bootstrap is a front end framework, and it contains, okay, and it contains some part of, very little part of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, I hope everybody knows this, what is a Bootstrap and what it contains. So Bootstrap is a front end framework, and it contains very little part of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it is being prepared to make the life of developers easy. The main purpose of building this Bootstrap application is to make the life of developers easy. Why? Because when we see, okay, when we what happened in CSS currently, that for every element, like it is H1, paragraph, span, I think we need to write CSS and we need to adjust the items accordingly. So currently what is happening with the help of Bootstrap, the life of developers will be easy. How it is easy? One second. Okay, so it actually helps the developers, because what happened in CSS, what happened in CSS, what happened in CSS, we need to write for every element, we need to write a CSS for that particular element. Okay, so for this particular problem, what is the solution? The solution is a Bootstrap. What happened in Bootstrap, that we all know Bootstrap contains classes and classes. So Bootstrap is all about classes. So for every commonly used classes, what we are using in our day-to-day activities means, for example, a button. For example, in a button, uh, for example, when we write button, we preferred to use a class with the name of btn, button shortcut. And when we are using an image, so we use a class with the class name as image. So the main commonly used classes, okay, the main commonly used classes, what Bootstrap did, Bootstrap prepared a set of all those commonly used classes, and they prepare a library. So now here what we need to do, we just need to include the Bootstrap in the VS Code and need to add the class in HTML, and simply our job is done. Okay, so that is all we are going to see in the coming classes. Fine. Now here, see. So there are so many ways. So there are so and okay, and one more thing. There are so many front-end frameworks. In spite of Bootstrap, there are so many front-end frameworks, but the most popularly used. So let us see how many. So front-end frameworks. See, these are the front-end frameworks. Okay, but the most commonly used front-end framework is the Bootstrap. Okay, and one more thing. In each website you find that, one second, one second. And okay, so, and in most of the website, what you find that Bootstrap is being used in some of the other ways. Okay, so that is the importance of Bootstrap, that you will find Bootstrap in most of the in each and every website. So that is the beauty of Bootstrap. As I've told you, Bootstrap contains some part of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which helps to make the life of developers easy. Now, why Bootstrap is used? What is the need of Bootstrap when everything is there? CSS is there, HTML is there, and Flex is there, Grid is there. What is the need of Bootstrap? The need of Bootstrap is to make the life of developers easy. And second thing, the main purpose is to make the websites responsive. Okay, so Bootstrap is basically used to make the web page responsive. Responsive, what is responsive? Responsive. So let's see. Let's see some examples. See, this is called as a responsive. See, responsive means when you open a website in a desktop, it looks like that. When you open in a tablet, okay, it looks like that. And when you open in a mobile, it looks like that. Means for every dimension, we have for every screen size, we have some of the other classes which helps to make that page compatible with the device. So here, if you see this thing, so here it is using half of the screen space, and here it is using 100% of the screen size. Here also 30%, 30%, 30%, and 100%, 25, 20, 20, 20, and 50, 50, 50. So that is how it works like that. So here everything is using the 100% of the available screen size. So that is called as responsiveness. And here, so let us see some more example. See, so it looks like this in a laptop, a tablet. This is again a tablet, and this is a mobile. So that is the need of using our responsiveness. So let us see the main. Let us go to main topic. Now, Bootstrap is used to make the website responsive. That is the main purpose of the Bootstrap. Now, Bootstrap original name is Twitter Blueprint. Why it is called as Twitter? Because it was developed by the Twitter engineers. Okay, but later on they make it open source, and as it was a very good project, they make it open source, and currently it is not being used by them. First thing. Second thing, the engineers named as Mark Otto and Jacob Thornton developed it. So they basically are the Twitter engineers. They developed it. They developed it for their internal use. But currently, what is happening because it is a open source project. So what they did, they make it open for everybody, and people take the best advantage of it. Now, currently, what is happening? They are not working on it, and that is how it is a open source project for all of us. Now, uh, what are the things in the Bootstrap, and what all we get in a Bootstrap? So Bootstrap is a combination of three things. So Bootstrap is a combination of things means, here if I tell you control FLAY layout. Bootstrap is a combination of three things: grid, classes, and components. So Bootstrap is a combination of grid, classes, and components. Fine. Now, what is a grid? So the grid is same as what we have learned in the CSS. So grid system is used to make the website responsive, and okay. Uh, and one more thing, how Bootstrap is making the website responsive is entirely managed by Grid internally. Okay, so how it is happening? It is entirely managing the Grid system internally inside the Bootstrap. As I have told you, Bootstrap uses some part of HTML, some part of CSS, and some part of JavaScript. Now, as I told you, Bootstrap is a combination of grid, classes, and components. So, grid is basically the same grid which Bootstrap is using internally, and it is managed by them only. Fine. Now, second thing, one second. Okay. Now, next thing, what are classes? Classes are the same classes what we have seen in HTML, but here what is happening? Classes are used to style any element in Bootstrap. The classes are used to style any element in HTML. But what happening in Bootstrap is Bootstrap took up the most commonly used set of classes. It picked up the most commonly used set of classes, and with the help of them, they just prepare a library. Now, what we need to do, we just need to write the name of the class, and from there, the CSS will get auto pulled. So that is why it is being asked to use the classes. Now, so there are so many classes in Bootstrap library, so that in development we can save time. Okay. So there are so many classes in Bootstrap library, so that it helps the developers to save the time. Now let us see how these classes work. So one second. So let us include Bootstrap first. Bootstrap is nothing but most of the times you need to do copy paste. So this is the what we did here. So here, try to understand one thing. As I've told you, one second. Okay. Now see, what I did here. This is a code which I have copied from the Bootstrap site. Okay. So I have copied it from the Bootstrap site. Now, if you see here, one second. So So if you see here, I have copied it from the Bootstrap site and I have pasted it. So what happened here? See what happened here? This particular single button with the type button with the class as btn, a common class which we all use in Bootstrap. btn with the primary class btn primary. Okay, the content is primary, and that is again inside the button. So here what happened here, if you see here what happened here, a button created with the content as primary, and what happened in that if you see here, okay, a button gets created without giving any style. If you see here, one second, without writing any single set of line. Okay, without writing any single set of css, what is happening here, what happened here. So Arey Vijay, what you want? Don't focus on my face. Focus on the screen here. What you want to, what you are looking in my face. There's nothing special. Okay, and okay. So one second. Okay. So if you see here, a single content primary, oh, single content primary gets created with the curved borders. And if you see, one second, if you see here, okay, everything means padding, say hover effect also they have given here. See, ठीक है, and this background color. So without writing any single line of css, what happened here, our button gets created. So that is the beauty of Bootstrap, that without writing any single line of css, what happened here, only just mention the class btn and btn primary, the system, the Bootstrap will get to know that I have to create a button with the content whatsoever I have mentioned, with the color as blue, with all those things what you see here. So that is all being managed by the Bootstrap with the help of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And everything, all these things are managed by the grid system internally for the responsiveness. So if you see here, see buttons are responsive. Automatically, it is adjusting. Automatically, I can say they are rearranging themselves. So that is the beauty of this thing. Now, okay. So we have some common set of buttons where we want a button with danger color. So we use this color, and we can write here something like that. And where you want the color with light background, so you can use the light. So this is again a color. See, and you are looking for dark. See, hover effect is also there. Opacity is also there. See, transition, transform property also they have used. So they have used the most commonly set of classes. Okay. Now this is an example of class, and I can say also a component. I can say also a component button. So there are so many components other than button. But button is the most frequently used component. So you can see here, uh, pagination, placeholders, popovers, progress, scroll spike. So these are the most commonly used components. See, now, one more thing which I just want to share you, that if you want to learn any of the language, okay, so their official web page. So here, what we are doing currently, we are just referring the official web page of Bootstrap, which is the Bootstrap 5. So the official web page is the best source to learn any document. So here you can simply write here, one second, get Bootstrap, and they will show you the link. The first one is this is the official web page. So this is the home button. So build fast responsive sites with Bootstrap. So you can create this thing with the help of Bootstrap. Now we just go to the docs, and in the docs we have everything in a ready reference with examples. So that is how you can go ahead with the help of Bootstrap kind of a thing. Now after that, what we see here. So one more thing, if I just want to clear you. So even if you have learned the complete Bootstrap and you know each and everything in and out of Bootstrap, then also you need to take the reference, and Bootstrap is all about taking the reference, because here everything is all about classes and you need to copy the classes from here. Okay, so if we go to images, see, this is the image tag, and here you need to here copy. So this image fluid. Okay, so let us copy this. So this image fluid is making the image responsive. So let me have an image. So whatsoever properties we are applying means background size cover, background center, background position, everything is managing by them. One second. So we have downloaded this image, inserted it, and here we'll use the image tag. Image source is this, control pass. Now see how image is adjusting. See, automatically it is adjusting depending upon the screen size. So that is the beauty of, see. So that is the beauty of Bootstrap. That is how Bootstrap adjusts automatically. Okay. So the first thing is to understand what is Bootstrap, and then we will start working on it. Okay. So what we do, we will do the copy paste, because here everything is all about classes. One second. So here everything is all about classes, and every code we need to copy it. See. So just copy paste and things will get ready. Okay. Now always refer the official web page of Bootstrap, and one more thing. Now let us see what will be the flow of Bootstrap in the coming days. Okay. Just 1 minute. Okay, so let us see what will be the flow of Bootstrap in the coming days. So the Bootstrap flow. So actually there are two types in which we can go further. So first one is using a zero CSS. Zero CSS means we use completely Bootstrap, which contains grid, classes, and components. Okay. Now how grid classes? Okay. So now how this thing is going to happen? So for example, if you are in a web page development company, and you have some pre-default set of site, means for grocery store. So when you are preparing a website for a grocery store, so all the grocery store have a common set of site. So now what is the problem here? So if you see ABC grocery store have the same website, XYZ grocery store have the same website. So here what is happening? You have your preset set of code styles, content, there you need to place, you need to change the name and things will get ready. So even though most probably I will say that you need to write, I guess, let's say it's 15-20 lines of code. But for example, writing 15-20 lines of code is as good as zero CSS. Okay. So writing 15-20 lines of code is as good as zero CSS. Means you have not written the CSS. Okay. So before going further, let me share your attendance sheet. So the attendance sheet I have shared. Kindly fill it and confirm me back in the comment section, please. So if someone have filled it, please confirm me back. So one second. Okay. So people are working on it. So let somebody fill it and then we will go further in Bootstrap. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay. I got it. I got it. People have started working on it. Fine. Now. Uh, uh, okay. Now. So we were about the flow of Bootstrap. So there are, first one is that you have written 10-20 lines of CSS and that is as equal as to zero CSS. And second one is you have a client which have altogether a different mindset, a different thought in his mind, where you need to write total CSS, means you need to write the complete CSS. So in this particular scenario, what is happening? One second. Okay, so where there you need to write the complete CSS. Complete CSS means what we are currently doing in these current days. So in this you need to write for body, you need to write for HTML, you need to write for star, you need to write for H1P, span, dang, everything. So that is the normal structure. So using the Bootstrap, it will save you, it will save you a lot of time. Now let us start with the Bootstrap. So how, what is the process of including a Bootstrap, how we are adding it, and each and everything, how we are going to manage. So first thing is that we need to include Bootstrap in our VS Code. Okay. So what the official webpage says, so this is the introduction part to getting started. So getting started have the introduction part, and there are two ways, okay, in which we can include Bootstrap in our VS Code. Okay. So what is the first one and what is the second one? Second one, oh sorry, first one is the CDN. CDN means content delivery network. Content delivery network means, what is it? So CDN is basically a server. Okay, it is a server, and the main benefit of using this CDN is it actually works very fast. And as it works very fast compared to normal server, it attach with website very fast. And when such kind of server attach with your website very fast, what is the result? The result is it loads very fast. So that is the beauty of CDN server. CDN server is basically the content delivery network. Fine. So CDN server works very fast, attach very fast, load very fast. So that is again a win-win situation in all the three scenarios. Currently, what is happening in these days? Websites are very bulky. So for this particular thing, what happens? It takes time to load. So that is why the need of CDN server is more compared to the traditional system. So this, the traditional one is the download. Okay, so see what is happening in the download. So we need to download this file, and with this downloaded file we need to link the CSS and HTML file, CSS and JavaScript file. So what, when we link it, we will check it, so the linking is properly happened or not, and then we will go ahead with the Bootstrap. So let us explore first and second method one. So first one is the CDN method is already I did here. So you can see, one second, you saw here. So the first one is here. Simply what I did, I have just copied the code. So this is the code which have already included. See here, it already have a CDN file. Okay, so for the JavaScript and the CS, it has both the file. So what is happening currently, just what we did, just simply copy it and paste it. So that's what I did here. So this is the, so let us do it again. Control A, delete, Control V, Control S. So here, see, here what happened here, a doc type HTML file, HTML language English. Head tag contains a link file. Link file contains a CDN server. One second. Okay. So link tag contains a CDN server of JavaScript and again in of a CSS. So that is how. So once you link it, means copy paste it, then you need to check it that yes, it is properly included or not. So for this thing, just simply what we did, simply copy the button, and here in the body, Control V, Control S, and yes, our Bootstrap is included perfectly. How we checked it? We have simply copied the code. That code contains a button with a classes, common class btn and a secondary class btn dash family with the content as family. So that is how we will going to check it. Now, so let us explore the second method. Second method is very simple, but it is advisable to use the first one, which has the CDN type of a thing. So the second one, let us explore that also. We have a download kind of a thing, and in this download, what we do, we just download it. Okay. Now let me control delete. Sorry. So let me control it, delete it, and here we'll have a normal thing, and I have downloaded. One second. So the downloads, yes. So what we do, we need to link the CSS and JavaScript file. So we use a link tag. before going further, I need to bootstrap CSS. We need to link the file. One second, one second. Bootstrap dot grid dot min dot css, and for the JavaScript file we need to link bootstrap dot bundle dot min dot js. We saved it, and again we need to do the same thing to check it perfectly. It is linked or not. So control F butt buttons कहाँ गया buttons ये रहा, and we will check it. So copy it and okay. So here some problem here. What problem you see here? We have only coming up with the content and button. So we need to check what is going wrong here. One minute. Let us link again. Bootstrap and CSS we use bootstrap dot min dot css, bootstrap dot min dot css, and here we need to use bootstrap dot bundle dot min dot. Yes. Now it is working fine. Now what is there in the downloaded folder? What we have downloaded. So let us explore this. See, it has nothing and nothing and nothing but the classes. The predefined classes what we are using, it contains all those things inside it. See. So these are the two ways in which we can add. Okay, so these are the two ways in which we can include Bootstrap in VS Code. One second, let me clean up the desktop. Okay, so now after this thing, let us see why we have added only these two files here. So when there are plenty of files, what is the need of adding only two files? Again, a very good thing. So for this thing, they have given us a clarification. See, so the CSS file, okay, the CSS file which have the file name as bootstrap.css have the layout, the content, the component, and the utilities, everything inside it. Okay, so it contains everything inside it, but for rest of the thing you see only grid system, only reboot kind of a thing. Now, here this RTL.css is from right to left and normal is from left to right. So RTL.css is used where people prefer to write from right to left. So that is how it is being used in this particular manner. Now, similarly, we can see in the JavaScript also. So here, if you see in the JavaScript, we have the same set of file which is bootstrap.bundle.js, which have all these thing inside. Okay. Now, now let us go back into before 2015 what is happening here. So before 2015 what is happening currently, there are actually two type of web pages. First one is simply, let us say for Facebook. So there are two type of web pages. Okay, for Facebook the link is two. So for Facebook, when we are using the Facebook in desktop or laptop, the link is facebook.com, and when we are using it on mobile, so the link is m.facebook.com. It is mobile.facebook.com. So things are going perfectly there. But in 2015, when more and more mobile companies come into existence and the problem starts coming. So what earlier what one more thing. Earlier what is happening that customers sharing the common database. Okay, but currently what is happening? It is not possible for the developers to design for every dimension a different web page. So what they did, they have come up with a solution which is called as a responsiveness. They have come up with a solution which is called as responsiveness. So let us see some. See, perfect example of responsiveness. So image, so a web page which opens in a desktop like this, okay, and which opens in a laptop like this, which opens in a which opens in a one second, okay, which opens in a tablet like this, and which opens in a mobile like this. Now currently what is happening, these days even the smart watches are again a device. So for this we also need to devise this for smartwatch. So where the smartwatch, one second. Mhm. This image does not get that short, but yes, you know what is smartwatch. Smartwatch also currently these days started opening the web pages. Okay, so that is how it goes like that. Now, uh, okay, so we will end for today here, and from tomorrow we will start with the grid system. Okay, so thank you. I hope everybody filled attendance. See you tomorrow again at 5 p.m.